and welcome once again to Ivy English. I'm Karen.
And I'm Chris Gorski.
Today is July 14th, and today we're going to give you some hints that you should, in fact, take with a grain of quote-unquote salt.
When we take something with a grain of salt, that means don't take it too seriously. It may be nonsense, but sometimes it may actually be useful. But when we take something with a grain of salt, we're emphasizing that, hey, don't be too serious.
That's right. And also, before you adopt anything, you don't know what we're talking about yet. We're talking about tricks to clean the house. Before you decide to use a little trick like this, make sure that, number one, you apply common sense. Think about it. Does this thing make sense? And number two, do a little research to make sure it's correct and okay.
The title today is The Incredible Cleaning Power of Common Foods. So these are things in your house that you can use to maybe clean if you don't feel like walking to the local drugstore or you don't want to walk to Poya or something, which is my common problem.
And in addition, sometimes using things sitting around your kitchen, in your pantry, Pantry, that's where you store food that doesn't spoil so easily, and other things you use. Sometimes using something in your pantry is safer. It's less toxic or poisonous.
My wife is very interested in kind of making her own cleaning solutions, in making her own oil, which we'll actually talk about later this month. And so my wife, I'm sure, is a big fan of this. There are some things that I insist upon we using a chemical agent for, especially things like disinfecting. I want a bathroom. It's really moist in Taiwan.
Yeah.
And so there's certain areas I really insist upon, hey, we're using a chemical agent to clean this because we don't want to be put in a place where we're really letting some nasty germs hang around. But I like the idea behind using more natural goods instead of just every nasty chemical you can throw in your house.
Okay, so our title again is The Incredible Cleaning Power of Common Foods. So incredible means hard to believe, unbelievable. That's an exaggeration. It just means surprising here. Cleaning here is a gerund. That means that it's a noun. Noun plus noun, don't stress power. We don't say the cleaning power. We say the cleaning power of common foods. Common is just an adjective, so we stress both common foods. And here is paragraph 1. It can be hard work to keep a home clean. There are countless cleaning products available to help keep floors, counters, and windows sparkling. However, when cleaning products run out, we need to find a quick alternative. You might be surprised to know that some food products can serve as powerful cleaning agents in a pinch.
If you're annoyed by dust or fingerprints on windows, mirrors, or other glass surfaces, used tea bags can help. Simply rub a damp tea bag on a glass surface and wipe it with newspaper. The tannins contained in tea leaves will dissolve dirt and turn glass crystal clear again. Tea bags can also be used to degrease dishes. Just soak greasy utensils in the sink with a few used tea bags and let them sit for hours. Then you can easily wash away the grease.
Next, lemon juice is a great degreaser. It can be used to break down grime in the microwave or fridge and freshen up wood furniture. Mayonnaise is another food with a surprising ability to get wood furniture looking new again. If you ever find a water stain on a wooden table, try leaving a thin layer of mayonnaise on it overnight and wipe it off. The oil in mayonnaise helps displace the moisture in the wood that created the mark.
Cleaning the kitchen isn't easy, but don't sweat it because vinegar works great as a disinfectant for countertops or bathroom tiles and helps reduce bacteria. What's more, a handful of salt and a moist sponge can clean up grease or crud caked up in the corners of stoves or grills. If you ever have trouble unblocking a drain or cleaning a dirty pan, try Coca-Cola. Its acidic properties can make the job a lot easier. Just pour the Coke in and let it sit for 15 or 20 minutes, and then witness the magic.
Hopefully, some of these tips will come in handy next time your cleaning supplies run low. All right, let's go back to the beginning again. The incredible cleaning power of common foods. It can be hard work to keep a home clean. Now, that is the understatement of the day because I really enjoy my work. I'm a workaholic. I spend most of my time working, and when I'm not working, I see the sun is out and I like hiking. And after hiking, I'll go into town and I'll have my dinner and then I will go home. And my day is gone. That means the cleaning didn't get done again. So there are things I enjoy much more than cleaning. So for me, it is really hard to keep a home clean.
Yeah, I agree. My wife and I both really like to keep our house clean. And that, we have 9 cats. And so they make a certain amount of mess, whether it's their cat litter, a little bit falling out, and you have to sweep that up, or they need things to scratch. Cats naturally scratch. And so we have little bits of cardboard here and there all over the house. You need to sweep and dust and clean up after them a couple times a day if you really want to keep your house nice, but at least one thorough cleaning in the morning. And that's the start of my day, is waking up and just cleaning the floors off, because our cats are leaving fur and dirt and litter everywhere.
I have found that is the only way to get anything done, is you prioritize it and you do it first. Then it will get done. Otherwise, it's pretty chancy. There are countless cleaning products available to help keep floors, counters, and windows sparkling. Now, they're leading up into something which I actually agree with in this piece. So if you want to keep your floors clean, your counters clean, now those are the surfaces in your kitchen where you do your cutting and other things, and your windows sparkling, if you want to keep your windows nice and clean without watermarks and dirt, then there are all kinds of products you can use, but they are not necessarily the best choices. So our next sentence is, however, when cleaning products run out, we need to find a quick alternative. And in my opinion, you don't have to buy a lot of those cleaning products in the first place. And Chris mentioned that his wife actually agrees with me on some of these points. So if you don't have a specially designed cleaning product to clean a floor, clean windows or whatever, there are other things you can use. And I don't use those products in general. They mostly contain poisons. You put them actually into our water system. So you're putting poison into our water system. And I think that's a lousy thing to do.
One that I insist upon that I mentioned earlier is, the soap that you spray into your air conditioners. I clean my own air conditioners every year, quite sensitive to allergies, and I will refresh them at the end of the season as well. And I insist on something that will disinfect them. I just need to know that these are clean, because of how miserable I feel for several days if I don't get these cleaned properly. So rather than just like some alcohol and like a brush, like I get in there with disinfectants and clean them suckers out. Generally speaking, I found that alcohol, some vinegar, hydrogen peroxide, it's like super good material to clean stuff. Just watch out you don't accidentally bleach or ruin the colors on materials.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, watch out with bleach. And don't mix things together on your own. Some things will actually have a dangerous reaction. Okay, so a quick alternative is another choice. To run out of something, that means that you have used it up. There is no more of it. It is finished. So our next sentence, you might be surprised to know that some food products can serve as powerful cleaning agents in a pinch. In a pinch is really a great idiom. That means when you're in a situation where you can't do things the way you usually do, the way you would prefer to do them, you're in a pinch, you're in a tight situation. And it says that you can use some food products that you already probably have in the kitchen or in the pantry, and you can use them to clean.
Yeah, you can do this thing in a pinch. That means when something is absolutely necessary. Now, a chemical agent or a cleaning agent just means this is the chemical or the substance that causes some kind of change. And so we know in cleaning chemicals, there are several things inside, but one is typically the chemical agent. This is the thing that causes the change that we want. Maybe it gets rid of grease or oil, whatever it may be. Those are called agents. Also, the special government guys, you see them in movies that protect the president. Those are agents. And so this is a fairly common word.
Secret Agent Man?
What a great song. Yeah. I love that live version.
Almost sang it. Okay, our second paragraph.
Paragraph 2. If you're annoyed by dust or fingerprints on windows, mirrors, or other glass surfaces, use tea bags can help.
Okay, so this gives you a solution for dust that's kind of hard to get at. And windows are often really pretty hard to clean. Mirrors the same, because they're also made of glass. So what can you do? You can use some used tea bags, which we usually just throw away anyway.
My cats actually have a habit of sneezing right on the glass. They like to look out the glass. And so every big holiday I take one proper day and just clean, like deep clean everything. I'll clean the ceiling. I'll clean the walls. I'll clean the glass on the inside and the outside. I'll go crazy. And one thing I have to do is clean off my cat's boogers, I suppose.
Oh, the cat snot on the windows.
I suppose it's not. Maybe it's saliva or something when they sneeze, because they're always looking out the window. And, just like anybody, cats will sneeze sometimes. and I have to clean that off. I usually use alcohol, but I may be tempted to use tea bags because I do drink a lot of tea.
I have to warn you, though, there is a danger with tea bags, in that whatever you use to clean them may be stained by the tea. Tea stains.
Yeah.
Yeah, even things like china can be stained by tea. You can see by your teacup, it's got a whole bunch of circles, brown circles in it. Okay.
Let's continue. Simply rub a damp tea bag on a glass surface and wipe it with newspaper.
Make sure that you wipe it because tea will leave a residue behind and that will stain.
The newspaper here is seemingly oddly specific, but it is a tried and true tip of homeless people. And I'm not trying to make a funny joke here. Homeless people will come up, clean your glass, and wipe it down with some old newspaper and ask for a tip. Newspaper is actually really good at cleaning glass. And so if you do have some old newspaper hanging around and you need to clean glass, you're going to recycle it. Might as well use it and then recycle it. I also use my damp tea bags in the fridge to reduce odor.
Yeah, they absorb odor. The thing is, we don't read physical newspapers very often anymore.
Our next sentence, the tannins contained in tea leaves will dissolve dirt and turn glass crystal clear again.
Tannins are the substances in tea that taste so strong. Yeah, and they are chemically, they're active. They do things.
Our next sentence, tea bags can also be used to degrease dishes. Just soak greasy utensils in the sink with a few used tea bags and let them sit for hours.
But again, make sure that you rinse them off very carefully. You probably have to use some kind of a scrub sponge to get off the residue of the tea bags.
Do you say degrease or degrease?
Degrease.
I've been paying attention to my D's recently. Am I saying duh or D? And I find myself preferring duh. I don't know when that happened, but I think it's a change because I really like to say D. I think maybe I'm overcorrecting in a way.
I think it's for certain words because we just don't expect the verb grease because we think of it as a noun. And to take away the grease, we're going to make it really clear. Let's degrease these dishes. But degrade, we wouldn't say degrade.
Let's look at the word utensils. That means your forks, your knives, your chopsticks.
Okay.
And by the way, even though my students know I've been in Taiwan a long time, my students are still surprised that I use chopsticks.
That is so crazy yeah. Because so many people now, anywhere you just walk around in America, a lot of just normal, ordinary people know how to use chopsticks.
Yeah, they're like, wow, you use chopsticks? I'm like, I've been here like almost 20 years.
I have to say that I think chopsticks are just a really good way of getting food to your mouth.
Yeah, I agree. I don't use forks very much at all anymore. Spoon and chopsticks. There we go.
There we go.
Let's continue to our next sentence. Then you can easily wash away the grease. I probably should have read that with the other sentence.
Well, you already put two sentences together. What's one more? Okay, but remember that point. Make sure you wash everything off so you don't leave any residue. Residue is spelled residue. Residue. To reside means to be in a certain place, to live somewhere. Residue is what is left after you've maybe washed something away or taken it away. Residue. Okay, let's go on to our next sentence. Next, lemon juice is a great degreaser. And that is true. Like vinegar, lemon juice is acidic and it's good for getting rid of grease.
We could also say it cuts oil.
Or cuts grease. Right. Okay, next sentence. It can be used to break down grime in the microwave or fridge and freshen up wood furniture. Now, there are a bunch of words in this article for dirt. And I recommend that you learn all of them because we use them a lot. Grime is what collects when you haven't wiped something off for a long time. Grime, it's not dust, it's not mud. It's just this dirt that collects over time to break down grime. It's grimy, that's the adjective. Next sentence, mayonnaise is another food with a surprising ability to get wood furniture looking new again. Now, here I draw the line. I do not like putting food on any surface because I'm worried about bugs and mold.
Yeah, especially in Taiwan where things are already so moist as it is. Mayonnaise, yeah, I don't know. Mayonnaise in general, I'm very suspect of. It's a food that I instinctually don't like.
I don't eat it either.
I do eat it, though. I will say mayonnaise is delicious. I always look at it like, I don't know, man. Mayonnaise is kind of disgusting. And then it always tastes so good. I'm not going to lie.
It's a processed food. It's not very good for you. I avoid it whenever I can personally. Okay, so we won't have mayonnaise in the house. Let's move on. If you ever find a water stain on a wooden table, try leaving a thin layer of mayonnaise on it overnight and wipe it off. Now, I have not tried this. I personally probably wouldn't recommend it, but it is what it is.
Especially with your very fancy table. Although I will say I did hear a good way to try these life hacks if you're dying to try them, because some people are like really excited to do these kind of things. If you have something that you've really damaged badly, and it's either you're throwing it in the trash or recycling it, well, take a shot. Maybe you get lucky. But you might damage it too and learn something fun in the process. I don't know. I can't confirm whether mayonnaise on a piece of wood is going to get that stain out. I wouldn't do that on my nice tables. But if you're going to scrap it, I mean, give it a shot.
Nothing to lose. Well, we don't have mayonnaise in the house anyway, so it's moot for me. M-O-O-T, moot. That means there's nothing to talk about. It's not even a question or issue. The last sentence of the paragraph, the oil in mayonnaise helps displace the moisture in the wood that created the mark. So some water went into the wood, created a mark, which looks awful. So they're saying there's oil in the mayonnaise that's going to push the water out, so it's going to get rid of the mark.
Before we continue, I do want to mention the topic of fake life hacks.
Yeah.
A life hack is something that supposedly is a really simple way of making your life better by just doing this 1 or 2-step easy process. There are a lot of fake life hacks. I'm not saying anything in this article is a fake life hack. It just made me think of fake life hacks because of some really outrageous examples. The example that sticks out in my mind is there's this video where you have a jar of peanut butter and you put a lump of charcoal in it, completely cover the charcoal, and then in 2 days, you take the charcoal out only to reveal a diamond. This is nonsense. But this was one of the most widely viewed videos on Facebook for years. And only recently did Facebook finally agree to put this to remove this video, because Facebook was really happy to get the money and the video creator was really happy to earn that money, and people are sticking lumps of charcoal in peanut butter. Now, fortunately, nobody gets hurt by sticking lumps of charcoal in the peanut butter. However, there was another popular video where people were putting graphite. That's the stuff you write with in your pencil, the
that
the
could
leads.
Be toxic.
They put them in the microwave.
Oh, no.
And that would supposedly turn
explode.
into a diamond. That's right. It created sparks, and you could blow up your microwave. You could kill yourself or burn your house down because of these stupid fake life hacks. When you see some of these life hacks, please use a very hefty dose of suspicion. Use a little common sense. And I believe, Karen, at the top, you said, take them with a pinch of salt, grain of salt.
Grain of salt, just a grain of salt. That comes from Latin, actually. But as for your charcoal and the peanut butter, you know why I would never, ever do that?
You don't have lumps of charcoal or peanut butter?
No, it's because as a very typical American, I love peanut butter. I make my own peanut butter. I eat a lot of peanut butter, often with a banana. I would not want to waste one dab of that precious peanut butter.
It's expensive now, too. You're going to stick a whole lump of coal in there? What's wrong with you?
Well, yeah, even though I buy the peanuts, but peanuts are expensive. So, no, I would never, ever do that. I will tell you the silliest hack that I ever seen. I think it was supposed to be just a parody. It was just for silliness. A woman said, you can have pasta in any shape you want. Here's how you do it. And she has a blender in front of her, and she puts in a whole handful of spaghetti. It's just this spaghetti you buy in the store that's really hard. And she turns it into what looks like flour. And she says, look, now add some water and roll it out. You can make it into any shape you want. That is the goofiest thing I have seen when you talk about life hacks.
But why do people create these videos? And the point is, they're getting views. They're making money off your clicks, off your views. And people make serious money off this. And so they'll produce these outrageous life hacks because they know people will watch it. They get their money, and they don't care what you do with your time otherwise.
And you've just wasted 5 minutes watching total nonsense. Okay, let's continue.
Cleaning the kitchen isn't easy, but don't sweat it because vinegar works great as a disinfectant for countertops or bathroom tiles and helps reduce bacteria.
Okay, again, we have 2 sentences together, but that's fine. The first one is really short and straightforward. This is one hack I totally agree with. I buy vinegar by the jug because I use it for cleaning. I don't buy most other cleaning liquids and things. I use vinegar mixed with some water. It works pretty well.
Vinegar is great for getting gum out of your hair, but be careful, you can bleach your hair. And then your hair is a weird different color, and that's no good. Let's continue here. What's more, a handful of salt and a moist sponge can clean up grease or crud caked up in the corners of stoves or grills.
Oh, this is a great sentence. I think especially because of the word crud. Now, I said there are a lot of words for dirt and gross stuff. The one that we talked about earlier is grime. And if it is kind of more solid, a soft solid, we will often call it crud. Like, that's what's left behind when you don't clean your bathtub. There's a lot of soap crud. There's another word for it, but that's one thing. Anything is just a semi-solid, that's gross, and you should get rid of it. That is called crud.
Oily dirt almost.
Yeah. And also another thing to watch out for here is, why is salt so effective? Because it is in granular form. That means it's grains. And these grains are very rough, and they can kind of use abrasion. That means scraping things off. And it can damage things. So if you have a very shiny surface, you might want to be a little careful with that one.
Let's go to our next sentence. If you ever have trouble unblocking a drain or cleaning a dirty pan, try Coca-Cola.
Now, I have tried this one, and I didn't use it for unclogging a drain. I used it for cleaning a toilet bowl because I read about this hack a long time ago. And it's true. If you put metal in a glass of Coca-Cola, it will start dissolving the metal. It is very powerful stuff. But I have to say that for the toilet bowl cleaning, it did not work. And in addition, I had sweetness in the toilet bowl. And that is food, and that will also attract insects.
I was thinking the sugar in Coca-Cola probably would also... That's a good food for bacteria. I'm sure you probably had to clean the toilet very soon afterwards.
Well, maybe the acid killed some of that, but you've got this sweet, gunky stuff in the toilet after you clean, and you really have to scrub. Not worth it.
I agree. That's no good at all.
No good.
Let's continue to our next sentence. Its acidic properties can make the job a lot easier.
Now, that's the theory. It is highly acidic, and like I said, it will eat away at metal.
Let's continue here. Just pour the Coke in and let it sit for 15 or 20 minutes. And then witness the magic.
I'm going to take a pass on this one. Hopefully, some of these tips will come in handy next time your cleaning supplies run low. So next time you run out of your cleaning supplies, you can try some of these. Let's go to our questions. Number 1, which of the following is the correct application of tea bags as a cleaner? The answer is
C. Place used chopsticks in water with tea bags for hours to help get rid of oil.
Okay, number 2.
How long does it take for mayonnaise to remove a watermark from a wooden table?
And the answer is letter D, several hours. Number 3, what can we not learn about food being used to clean the kitchen according to the passage? And the answer is
A. Salt added to vinegar prevents surfaces from becoming greasy. And number 4, which of the following could be an alternative title to the passage?
And the answer to number 4 is B. Save money on cleaning products with these amazing tips. Now, amazing? It depends. Maybe some are, maybe some aren't. But that's it for today. Tune in next time. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.